Hi, I'm Chris Markstein with Inductive Automation.
And I'm Jeff Gilmore with Janitza North America. We're here to talk about best-in-class partnerships, how it can provide solutions, next-level solutions for you and your companies. Today we're going to show Janitza metering at the zero base level of your network, of your OT network, using inductive automation tools on top of it to provide visualization and insights. How you doing, Chris?
All right, so progressing through here, we have perhaps the old standard. So think of a traditional EPMS facility inside of a data center. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of components like you can see here. And this is only for the power domain. We don't have cooling accounted for here. We don't necessarily have telemetry and other necessary SLA compliance and data throughput mechanisms in place. But if we consider combining the best-in-class hardware from Janitza with the Ignition software platform, we can streamline this significantly. We have an opportunity to introduce standardized data models and open architectures and extensible platforms to connect all of your OT assets and be able to store, normalize, aggregate, visualize the information, stream it, alarming, reporting, everything that you might require from these data sets, and to do so in a way that performs with software that's a first-class IT citizen, that's ready for AI today, and we'll show you a sneak preview of that, and one that ultimately is scalable and flexible for your enterprise's needs as they evolve over time, particularly with the rapidly changing technology landscape for GPUs and AI factories. So let's jump in here and take a look at how some of the software functions. Today, we've got our data center demo, which is available for free through the Ignition Exchange. Anybody can download this demo, like all of our demos, and use it in your projects however you see fit. This particular project simulates a 30 megawatt facility with 2 data halls. The overview page here is providing KPIs for power, for cooling, for sustainability posture. We can take a look here at a floor plan view as well that shows things in a spatial arrangement. The assets are color coded, so blue would be electrical systems, green would be cooling or thermal management. We have KPIs on the left and right that are data hall specific. If there's an area that I'm interested in learning more, I can click directly on the equipment and get a pop-up that provides a visualization of things like the one-line diagram and key indicators of modes of operation and status points coming from hardware like Janitza, or perhaps from a remote I/O or a sequence of event recorder. If you have trip units with metering integrated into them, you'd be able to visualize the power and energy data that's used here. If you needed a view that was a little bit more in-depth, or you needed to consider power quality, you can click here and see perhaps a UMG 512 or similar power quality hardware from Janitza. Visualized here, both real-time power, voltage, amps, but also the performance over time with trend charting. And we have power quality included here as well, with total harmonic distortion as well as power factor. Let's stick with power for a moment here. And in cases where an anomaly is observed or where equipment's not performing exactly the way that you might expect it to, a waveform like a ComTrade file, as an industry standard for one example, is an essential diagnostic and troubleshooting tool. So I'm able to use the ComTrade module, again, available through the Ignition Exchange for free, to look at these files and visualize the power quality of the facility graphically right here in the chart. So looking at this particular sample, we can see that while up top, the waveform looks to be pretty clean, down in the detailed analysis pane, we can see that there are perhaps some concerns. There's some notching, potential harmonics. What we have done to show here today is leveraging AI to provide the ability for an operator to now perform functions that previously would have required a senior engineer, with the assistance of our forthcoming MCP module and a LLM. In this case, we're utilizing Gemini. Okay. So we can see here in the top the waveform visualized in its entirety, and we can select using this range brush an area of interest for detailed analysis, including a phasor diagram. The AI tool that we've bolted on here allows us to share what we're seeing on the screen with Gemini via the MCP connector and ask Gemini to tell me specifically what's going on with a waveform capture. While that processes, you'll be able to see here that the waveform, again, while looking pretty clean, it does have notching. It has some indication of perhaps harmonics. There's distortion that needs to be considered, and that's something that perhaps an operator might recognize, perhaps not. But with the tooling that we've provided here and the expertise that LLMs like Gemini can bring to this application, you're able to see this quite readily. And so the AI has told us that there's an inrush current event that is seen prominently at the start of this waveform capture. It's noted that there's current imbalance as you look at the waveform over time, and harmonic distortion key. So it has noted here that even though it's relatively sinusoidal, there are issues that require further investigation, and it's provided suggestions for how to go about taking the next steps, perhaps turn on the voltage channels to see what's going on that side of the power supply. But this tool can be utilized in any capacity. The MCP allows you to connect directly to data sources. So if we've got all of the metering coming in from Janitza hardware, that can be queried directly. You don't have to utilize that screen share mechanism like I showed just a moment ago. But just one example of how Ignition can be utilized in mission critical or data center environments in a ecosystem of best-in-class hardware, software solution providers, no vendor lock-in, open standards and flexibility, scalability for all of your future requirements in this space.
If you need more information, please go to janitza.com/US. And Chris, how can they find you?
Thank you to Janitza for hosting us. Reach out anytime. Go to our website, inductiveautomation.com. You can download the Ignition software and try it for free. Follow our socials, and we'd love to connect with you on any challenge. Thank you.